Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Primesberger, editor of eWEEK.com. Thanks for joining us today on this latest segment of eWeek eSpeaks. This is a series of casual conversations with IT thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and executives from all over the business and all over the world. Our interview today is Barry Kelly. Barry is the CEO, of Thought Industries, a very interesting name for a company based in Boston, Massachusetts. Welcome, Barry.
Well, thanks very much, Chris. Nice to be here.
I detect a little Irish tone in your voice there.
Right. Yeah. Born in Dublin, grew up in County Kildare, just outside Dublin, and moved to the United States about 20 plus years ago. So part of the furniture here at this point.
And you're maintaining that little accent. I love it. That's great.
Gotcha.
Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about yourself, Barry, in IT, and also the mission of Thought Industries and what it does. It's all about content management to an extent. And I'm a content guy, so I'm really interested in this. Tell us about it.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. My background has been, I got introduced to online learning back in 2000, where I went to work at Berklee College of Music in Boston to help them build an online music school, and learned quite a bit about, the technology required to sort of deliver a learning experience and also take it to market. So I would say overall, my career has been focused on productizing learning, external learning delivery, monetization, growth, scale, and everything that's sort of associated with that. And over the course of my career, helped organizations, build, learning operations and learning businesses, from product creation to monetization. And what I realized, at the time overall, is that most internally focused or corporate LMS systems, as the world may know them, while they do a fantastic job helping, educate, train, and provide behavior change for internal employees, when you face them to the outside world, they tend to kind of miss the mark a little bit. And we found that the technology required to deliver external learning, customer learning, channel delivery, etc., at scale requires a whole different set of features, technologies, in order to help organizations grow and move and get involved in behavior change for their audience. So we founded Thought Industries in 2014, and our focus has been on helping organizations deliver customer education, which is any B2B company that has a physical product or a software product that they need to, train, educate those individuals. And we also work with enterprise training companies, professional certification companies, to help them productize and grow and deliver, global learning at scale. So yeah, it's been a great 7+ years.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've got the whole learning environment corralled into one platform. Is it customizable for every use case, or do you pretty much lay out a menu that people can choose from of features, or is it or do you do a lot of custom consulting with or guidance with your customers?
We're a SaaS company, so really it's a technology platform that enables organizations to, deliver, their specific flavor of learning. I think what I would say is that a lot of organizations are working to create, a highly customized branded learning product that they can deliver. And we see a lot, I suppose, over the last 6 or 7 years in terms of sort of learning product diversification. So the ability to be able to create lots of different types of learning modalities, package those and deliver them so that you can expand your markets, have greater impact from learning, and also, create net new products or, extend the margins and the benefits of the existing learning programs. So all of that is available in our technology. It's an embedded commerce system, white labeling system, content creations. We have native authoring tools and the technology to allow you to build anything from a micro learning short format article to a multi-layer instructor-led certification program, in person, virtual, online, whatever it is. And then everything else that goes with that, integrations with all of the technologies you require for the marketing cloud, sales cloud, as well as other features like reporting, so that you can figure out what's going on and how it's impacting your business globally.
Wow, so it actually has analytics in it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Evaluate things for reports, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. And, with our business, we're evaluating more than just the engagements, or I suppose traditional LMSs will sort of, will, report on how an individual has engaged with learning content, started, finished, complete, percentage complete, quiz outputs, test outputs, things like that. Whereas we're kind of looking holistically at the business. What's the conversion rates to traffic? What's revenue targets being met? Conversion rates through the funnel. Other impacts in terms of, how individuals are learning, interacting, even socially interacting with others in the learning experiences. So it gets pretty vast. We also get down into where organizations are doing multi-tenant sort of account customization and curation, how each one of those customer accounts is doing, how they're being impacted, what type of learning trends are happening there. So it gets very complicated very quickly, and we're plugging into all sorts of other business intelligence tools so that organizations can cross-section data against the other operations of their business too. So,
Wow, a lot of threads going a lot of different ways. Does
yeah.
this platform actually do grading too, and or suggest grades to managers, or what?
Yeah, for organizations that want to incorporate, grading, certainly we work with a lot of organizations that are delivering professional certification as well. So in those areas, grading can be particularly important, whether they're grading on sort of completion rates, on tests. I was in a meeting today where we've just released a new feature where there's, grading on discussions. So really helping organizations encourage peer-based communication and having that to sort of be a component that's measured in terms of a final grade. So absolutely do that as well.
Oh, it's amazing. Everything now is under observation. Everything you do, if you sit in a meeting with 15 people and two of the people don't talk at all, that's noted, and it's in the data, isn't it? And all that can be used for the company, in its evaluations. Man,
Yeah.
you can't fall asleep in meetings anymore. Well, we can't. We have to. We're living by the meeting schedule too now, with Zoom meetings like this one and others,
right,
where they start at exactly a certain time, and you darn well better be on time.
That's
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good things coming out of all this new environment, right?
Yeah, I would say, our focus, we have focus with in what we call customer education. So that in that particular market, we're helping organizations, optimize the success of their customer, right? And that specific area, we're not necessarily, while leading indicators of success with a product are things like completion rates and, if there's a quiz or a test or engagement levels in learning. What we're really looking to do is make sure that we are helping organizations enable their customers to be successful with their products. Because ultimately, in a subscription economy, the individuals, the impact of an individual, their interaction with a product or adoption of a product is plugged directly into, the growth of an organization, whether that's in retention rates, net retention rates, customer satisfaction scores, NPS scores. All of those things are critical, to maintaining, a recurring customer. So while, as I said, while those sort of, micro level measurements are important, we think the sort of macro level business impacts are just as critical in this industry.
Taking a look at the big picture, Barry, what trend can you identify and describe to us that's happening in your business now? I think you alluded to it a little bit a few minutes ago with the analytics, but can you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in, one particular market in, customer education, we're seeing a tremendous amount of growth there. Organizations, I think, as well as the investment community for many years focused, I think, in the pre-sale optimization. How do we get more customers? How do we optimize the conversion rates of those customers into our products and into our growing software and sort of product companies? With that subscription economy, our organizations have had to have a very specific focus. Essentially, a customer is renewing every month, every year. So they are only going to use a product if it's having impact on their business. So it becomes really important to an organization that that we help the customers be successful. And I think we've seen the movement of customer success over the last 7 or 8 years. That's almost become institutionalized with organizations now. And customer education is a strong component. It's a strong pillar of that, particular movement as an organization. And organizations are seeing that education, as a growth engine as well. So we're seeing growth, year over year in that area. This is, we just finished our report. It's our third year doing the State of Customer Education report that came out, and we're consistently seeing that level of growth in terms of the adoption of and the formalization of sort of customer education departments, inside organizations. So it's been, it's great to see that particular area growing, and then the ways in which these organizations are delivering best practices alongside that too. So
yeah, speaking of that survey, Barry, can you touch on a couple highlights that you gleaned from that?
Yeah, I think one of the things that was particularly interesting is that, about 60% of organizations that we surveyed increased their investment by more than 30%, in 2020 in customer education, and about 91%, reported expansion in customer education. So we're seeing a lot of adoption in this particular area, and not just across software. We're seeing it across, manufacturing, physical product goods. Think about anybody that has to learn how to adopt a product, effectively to do their job, whether you're installing HVAC systems, you're installing ball bearings on machinery, or you're trying to understand how to use Salesforce to be in sales ops. These are all things that, people are investing in to help educate those customers to be successful with the products. I think, there was a little bit of an interesting effect from COVID-19 where we saw this year. What I would say is it was an accelerant for the market in terms of transforming. Organizations may have been doing a lot of in-person training. About 41% of the organizations we surveyed transitioned their customers, probably in a hurry, to virtual training. So that's been pretty significant. And I think about 77% of those surveyed were saying that the importance of customer education has increased at their organization through this last year, through the pandemic. So, it's been a fascinating sort of, changes in the market. I think organizations are still struggling to understand how to measure it correctly. So how does it connect directly to the other KPIs that are important to the business? And we've been working, directly with the community to help organizations draw that line between retention, net retention, and all the other, growth, monetization, EBITDA, those types of margins, those types of things that are important to their business. So yeah, another great feedback this year in terms of the data.
Well, Thought Industries is really a versatile company, and it looks like it can be used in a lot of different use cases. And you seem to be expanding all the time. So congratulations on that. That's excellent.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Barry Kelly, CEO of Thought Industries in Boston, Massachusetts, and online, you're thoughtindustries.com, correct?
That's it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you for your time and for telling us about the mission of the company. It's been really fascinating for me, and I hope for the readers. So thanks again.
Thanks. Take care.
And for everybody following along to the end here, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your eWeek. Thanks for joining us on eWeek eSpeaks. Go to eWEEK.com to hear more conversations with IT thought leaders.